At a first glance, Valdi might look incredibly busted. The first couple bosses where you are really going to need chain attacks, Valdi is really going to shine, giving 50 extra TP because of his heroic chain. This will give you the first taste of some very easy, bravo, and amazing chain attacks. On top of all that, healer is also just one of the best hero classes to have. Because of the lack of fusion arts, the damage on heroes is not going to be terribly huge. So if the damage isn't all that huge, then you might as well use that slot for some utility, like reviving your dead characters, dealing, and status effects. Speaking of status effects, I think Valdi's Brave Order is pretty decent. During large boss fights, you are likely to be using 2 chain attacks because they're just so bulky. The first you should use to kind of buff your allies up and heal them back up again after taking tremendous amounts of damage. The second one to absolutely murder the heck out of your opponents. Early game, your damage is not going to be terribly huge because of your lack of strong classes, items, lack of fusion arts and high leveled skills in other classes, etc. So your party is probably not going to get major overkills or deal any form of major damage during chain attacks at first. That's why during this first chain attack, I think Valdi is always really good. It prevents your characters from dying and gives them some regeneration. Though he can be a bit awkward to fit in chain attacks, especially compared to the other effects and him having low TP. Another down point of Valdi is obviously when you're not going to fight against any form of machines. He essentially doesn't have a heroic chain then, and that's just a big shame. I consider Valdi incredibly useful in the early game. A good healer that does good healing things, with a good matchup against some of the machine enemies you'll face early on. Yet past the point, you are really going to notice that you just want higher damage characters and you will get those. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot and motivates me to make more Xenoblade free content. I've been Zidane, I always will be, and goodbye.